What's the deal, my people? You know, this is Don Tony Teflon, and from season 4, episode 1 has just dropped. And if you have not watched it yet, do yourself a favor, go watch it and then come back and then watch this video. Because let me tell you, from now on, in the rest of this video, it's going to be nothing but spoilers. And they have given us a whole lot of answers to a whole lot of questions, and they've also given away the ending of this show in this first video. Yes, Pickner, I caught it. Other people may not have, but I did, and I'm going to explain all that to you at the end of the video when we get into all of the theories. So let's get into it. The video starts off right from where we left off last season with Jim's death, and we hear a couple of important things in this whole situation that proves exactly what I was saying a long time ago, that the first time we seen Jim get killed was not the first time that Jim got killed. In fact, he says that he has seen Julie many of different times in this part.
You have to stop meeting like this.
When did you come from this time? Didn't anyone tell you? There's no way to change a story once it's been told.
And if you're wondering where you heard that from, those are the exact same words that Ethan said to Julie when he told her about the story walking ability. So go ahead, put in the comments all the theories that Ethan is the man in yellow grown up.
It doesn't work like that.
But you
can visit the chapters, but you can't change them.
Why?
No one can change a story once it's been told.
So we know that there's going to be multiple times from this conversation that Man in Yellow has seen Julie come and go, probably to save Jim over and over again. But not just Jim, not just that situation. It's going to be him seeing her most likely in a different form, and that's why she does not recognize him. As we see later on that the Man in Yellow does have this ability, most likely that's what happened in the past. It's going to be a whole bunch of different people. It's all going to be the Man in Yellow, but he's going to be shape-shifted into something else. Because if it was him, and it was just this one time that he's seen, and then Julie would have 100% recognized who he was, but she didn't recognize who he was because he's got a different form every time that she sees him. You could take that to the bank. I promise you that's what we're going to see this upcoming season when we see Julie going back. You know, you may want to say he's the monster that was outside with the colony house when she first arrived. Maybe that was the Man in Yellow also. We'll have to look and see exactly who he turns out to be. We know that they have gotten a colony woman, a colonial woman is casted for this show, and we know that that's going to show up at some point this season. Most likely that colonial woman is going to be the Man in Yellow. So I don't know how much longer we are going to see the Man in Yellow in this form, in this show. This may just be his favorite form, but I do believe we're going to see him as somebody else. We then pick up with Fatima right after she's given birth to the Smile Monster. And yes, we can finally confirm that this is her baby, and they're looking at this is Boyd's grandchild. And I think this is what breaks Boyd once he finds out that this is his actual grandchild. But it's Kenny who goes out there to try to find Boyd and figure out everything that's going on underneath the tunnels. But while he is down there looking for Boyd, Boyd sneaks up on him and tells him, keep your mouth shut. Don't pull a chatty tabby with me right now. We are in danger right now. And then we see the Smile Monster in all of his glory. He's back to life, and he speaks specifically to Kenny and says, hey Kenny, what's going on? They go back upstairs, and Kenny tells Boyd, like, you got to tell people about this situation. Someone needs to learn about that. After this, we transfer back to the Elgin situation, and we see our girl Sarah bloodied up, just sitting in there with blood all over her. Elgin eyeball out. Acosta pulling a gun that doesn't have any ammunition. And I don't like the way they did my man Elgin here. They did him a little dirty. You know what I mean? He's been through a lot, and they show the man's face, and he looks like Martin after he fought Tommy Hearns. Like he's beat up pretty bad in this situation. But they have Chrissy here, and Chrissy is going to be the one to help him in his situation. Help him with this eye thing. No, the eye is not coming back. He is definitely rocking the eye patch for the rest of the show, if they have one there in Farmville. And she wants to get to the bottom of what exactly happens here. After that, we transfer back to the man in yellow, and we see him go and dig up a suitcase. The monsters must have placed it there, because this is the same suitcase that we seen when they had it all the way back when Tabitha was in the cave. And he's happy to pull up this suitcase. It's been there for a while, and he gets butt-ass naked. Right, butt-ass naked, and he looks inside, and we can't see what's inside at this time, but we do figure that out a little bit later in the show. But after we switch, we see Kenny talking to Boyd, and Boyd at this particular time in his life is broken. And I'm telling you, it's the fact that now all of a sudden he's the grandfather to Smile Monster. We heard the monsters say many times that they wanted to break Boyd. They said you couldn't break you, and they finally did break him with this. And Boyd goes back, and he gets all the bullets from every gun that's ever came into Farmville. And he's like, listen, we have one choice. We can get ripped apart, or we can choose to end it our own way. And that's just unalive everybody in this building. He wants to do some Hale Bop Jonestown situation instead of being ripped apart. And Kenny is trying to explain to him, like, if you of all people give up right now, then the town has no hope whatsoever. There's no way anybody is going to want to live and be like this if they don't believe that you got the stuff to get us through this whole situation. And it was really hard for me to see Boyd like this. Usually we see Boyd and he's got a little bit of confidence. Here, his confidence was 100% taken away from him because of the birth of the Smile Monster, that now he's thinking they can't get a win. He really thought that was a big win for them. He thought that they did something, that there was one for the good guys. But right now, the fact that he knows that they can't kill him, and these people come back to life, and Fatima just doesn't give up all the information, doesn't give it all up, he is just broken. They go back to Elgin at this time, and they're trying to sew Elgin's eyes shut. And Acosta helps in this process of him getting his eyes sewn shut. Again, he did my man Elgin dirty in this scene, man. That's my homeboy right there. And they did him dirty because they got the dude looking like Martin when he fought Tommy Hearns, man. That's exactly the way his face looks, and that is bad. And they put the needle in the eye very vividly. I didn't need to see it that close. I really didn't, but they wanted to show us that close. How is this going to affect him going forward? Because he's still thinking like, hey, the baby was born, we're all getting to go home. And Christy's trying to tell him, like, listen, a lot of people have fell for the same thing that you fell for. So don't feel so bad when you're falling for it. A lot of people fell for it and they took advantage of you. You just were the next person who fell for it. And I don't know if anyone's gonna hold Boyd accountable for beating his hand up like that. It seems like everyone's gonna give Boyd the pass on it and say that he had every right to do it because Elgin put Fatima in harm's way. And that's why he's thinking everybody hates him, everyone's going to hate him, because he thinks everybody already knows. But no one really knows this fact, and we'll see if this fact actually comes out. We see in the trailer that they do say that things have a way of coming out, and Boyd says, well, let's try to make sure that they don't. And that's most likely due to the fact of the conversation he's going to have with Elgin after this whole situation, because the other things that he's seen, he gives up all the goods on everything else that we see there. After her stroll through the woods and coming back to town, Tabitha is reunited with her family, and they just start realizing at this time that Jim's not around. Where's Jim? She thought Jim went right back to town. We have no idea where he's at, and she's not giving up. We see her daughter is trying to say, what's going on, Mom? Is something happening? She's making excuses that, hey, maybe he got tied up. He's going to come back. Don't worry about it. But we can see that there is a lot of concern when dealing with the children and dealing with the situation of Jim. I think this 100% confirms that the person inside the barn that we've seen in the trailer is 100% going to be Jim, and they're probably going to go through that whole situation the next episode. After this, we see the car coming through town, and the car is smashing its way through town. It's going through everywhere. People are shocked that there's another car, and this car just runs right directly into the police station, well, the so-called police station. And when we look inside, we see that the father, even though he has a faint pulse, he is alive at this time, but the door is trapped. And we get introduced to Sophia, who has a Bible, and Tabitha takes the Bible and puts it between her neck and the metal rod that's there that could maybe chop her head off at a particular time. After Randall comes out there to save the day, we see them get pulled out, and all of a sudden they go and bring an ambulance. And I guess they got a working ambulance station. I mean, From Town is stepping up. I know small towns that don't even have a little ambulance station, but they got one. But when Kenny brings back all the tools, Mary L steps up in there and she makes sure the homie is okay. She checks him out, sees that he does have a pulse. He does seem to be all right. The whole town comes together. Listen, everybody watches an accident, right? We see that all the time. If there's an accident, people just gather around. So you know these people are definitely going to be doing that. But it's funny that nobody questions this little lady. She just gets out and she tells them the whole story that, hey, I was in the car, my dad just started having seizures. And it's funny that she knows about the seizure situation, and they bring up the fact that this is not the first time this happened in Frumville. We have seen other people go into seizure, so the story does seem believable. It seems plausible that this happened, that he either had a stroke or that he had some type of seizure, and that is the reason why that they crashed at this particular time. And she starts saying that she wants her mother. Now, we know that right now she's a 15, 16-year-old girl coming into this. That is what she's playing. I'm sure the actress is a lot older than that, but that's what she's playing. Tabitha does the mother thing and makes her feel better and hugs her and tries to get her in the place. Now, I knew this chick was dirty from the jump. I have told y'all that she was dirty from the jump, and it just goes on in this episode to prove the fact of how dirty this chick actually is, because once they bring out the wrench and they just wrench apart the door, they are able to get the father out of the car finally. And once they get this dude out of the car, they put him on the little gurney and they wheel him away into where the ambulance place is at. I liked what they did with this, and I liked the introduction to this, and we all got took. A lot of people got took on this situation. If you watch my channel, then you wouldn't have been took. You would have known exactly what was going on in this whole situation. Jade, with the worst timing in the world of any man known to exist, tries to run up on Tabitha like he's looking for a booty call. That's the way it seemed like to me, saying he wants to talk. And she was like, if she was a little younger, she probably would have said she had a period, or she would have said something like, I have a headache right now, Jade. We can't get into this right now. My kids are here, man. What are you doing right now? And she's like, don't come back to my house until my husband comes home. And she tells Jade, and everything she says is 100% right. How do we know the things that we were told is the truth? How do we know that we're not just being gassed up by this place, as we seen Elgin get gassed up, as we seen Sarah get gassed up? What's more likely, what's more believable, that they're lying or that we actually been coming back for hundreds of years? And the more likely situation is that they are lying. And that is what's going to happen here this whole season. I can feel that people are not going to believe or trust the things that they're shown in their face. They're all going to be concerned that everything is a lie, and they're not going to be able to really believe everything instead of just going with their gut. And I think that's what's going to hold back and prevent a lot of things from going on in this season. Instead of just trusting the knowledge, Jade's like, this is what it is, but she's like, no, it's not. I don't trust this place. I don't believe that this is what's going on. And again, she has a very valid argument in this whole thing. After this whole situation, we transition back to Boyd, and Acosta is waiting for him outside. And she tells him, I don't know what you used to be. I have no idea. Maybe you were some type of hero. But what I seen you do to this boy, you are a monster. You're turning into a monster. This is what I see you as. This is what I will always see you as. And I think that Boyd is trying to prevent her from telling everybody in town what he did. He does not want to explain himself to the town for everything he did to Elgin. But there ain't no doubt she's dropping a dime. Shorty is dropping a dumb dime on this whole situation. Guaranteed. Boyd goes inside of the colony house and he tells Donna that she needs to come upstairs. In fact, everybody needs to come upstairs and listen to exactly what I have to say about what I seen when I went downstairs in the root cellar. After this, we see Acosta make her way back to the diner, and it seems like this is where she's going to be living for a little while. And while she's there, we hear a Frank Sinatra song, Send in the Clowns. And this is a very important fact of what happened in this episode and what's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you exactly what that means in a second in the theories part. But we see Acosta, she said she did not want to change her uniform because she didn't want to be comfortable, but she sees a sweatshirt and she goes for it to put that on. So it seems like Acosta is going to become 100% comfortable here. While Fatima is upstairs in her room and Boyd makes her way upstairs to the room to disclose everything that he's seen inside the root cellar, Fatima is ringing everybody out saying, listen, I told you there was something inside there. But Christy, when she used the ultrasound, she said she didn't see anything. But she's like, I told you there was something wrong with me. I told you all this was going on, and none of y'all wanted to believe me. But when Boyd makes his way in there and he has everybody there, this is when he explains exactly the birth of Smiley and how the birth of Smiley actually took place and how he's seen it grow and then smile at him. And not only was it just another creature, because she's like, I gave birth to this creature. He's like, it wasn't just that regular creature. It was the one that we killed and we burned. And I think that burning the body might have something to do with this man coming back to life. But we'll talk more about that in the theories. After this, Fatima says she needs to go and take a shower. And I'm gonna tell you something, if you gave birth to that creature, girl, you're gonna have to do more than take a shower to get up in the Don's bed. I can't mess with it. Ellis is a better man than me, I guess. We transition to Kenny and Sophia inside the hospital, and Kenny is trying to explain to her the way of the world and the way things are here now for her and the way things are going to be for her going forward, and trying to do it in a way that, it's a very spooky situation, that things that she's got to listen to, things she's got to deal with, and she seems to be 100% taking all of it in. She seems to be down with it. Like, it doesn't seem like she's shocked about it or anything. We transition quickly back to Tabitha, trying to figure out, is Jim coming home? And while that happens, Julie's trying to say, talk to me. Ethan says to them, please stop fighting. I don't need to see you fighting like this. And it causes them just to keep a chill pill in it for now, because we've seen before, Jim told them, listen, just because your mom's not here doesn't mean she's dead, because Ethan's automatically jumping, is dad dead? Is that's what he's thinking. He's saying, listen, you don't have to think that way. You may have thought your mother was dead, but she came back. The same thing's going to happen with your father. I don't think so, because in the credits he was listed as a guest star, And guest star means you're not a part of the main roster anymore, which means he ain't coming back. Only in flashbacks or things like that, maybe getting killed over and over again. Something I predicted in another video. But as Kenny is explaining everything to Sophia, it just seems like to me that Sophia here was too much willing to do it. Even when she gets Kenny to pray with her and pray about it. It just seems like she was too accepting of everything. We seen how people reacted when they first got there, that they had to be strapped to beds and everything because they were going through all this. But Sophia is different. Sophia is just accepting things exactly the way they were. And this should have been a clue to you that something was wrong with Sophia. Because after Kenny tells her exactly how the talismans work, and she seemed very interested in these talismans and how they worked exactly. And I think we're going to figure that out going on this season. And Kenny falls asleep. We see Sophia go over to the man who is supposedly her father. And she wakes him up from a touch. Now, he was put in a coma. I believe she is the one who induced this coma in him. And she was able to revive him when this was going on. And this is when she comes clean about everything that we seen. And everything that we seen is what I predicted in an earlier video. You can go check that out 100%. But it was when this man showed up, it was the man in yellow as Sophia that he shape shifted into it. When we go back and we see him open up that suitcase, we can clearly see inside of that suitcase was Sophia's clothes. And he goes and he transforms himself into Sophia, and it's been him as Sophia the whole time. And when this man came and he seen her on the side of the road, he picked her up on the side of the road, and this is how she got inside the car. He was in the car by himself when he ran up on the tree, but she needed a way to infiltrate him, infiltrate the town, and she used Sophia as a reason to infiltrate the town. Because once she gets inside of this car with this man, this is when she touches him, and then she makes him at this particular time go into this seizure or heart attack, and then she steers the car right into the post office and nearly hits Kenny and nearly hits Boyd. So that's how we know that the man in yellow is not only going to be Sophia and the flashbacks with Julie, she's going to be other people, and the people that we have already seen, especially that boy who said, "Julie, you don't remember me." It's a good possibility that that was the man in yellow during this whole situation. But we have broken down all of the episode that there. Now let's get to these theories. The first one that we see when we talk about these theories is the number 47. We hear Kenny say specifically that there were 47 people left in this town, and that's how many people were there until these people arrived. I told you about the meaning of 47 in my last video. I will put the link in the description so you can know exactly that 47 is something. I told you it was going to be, and it proves it right here. The next one is the most important one, and I think it explains exactly where this thing is going, and that is the music box. Now in this music box we hear a song by Frank Sinatra, and you may say, how does Frank Sinatra have anything to do with From? Well, he doesn't, but that is just a breadcrumb, and I have figured out exactly what it is. It's not about Frank Sinatra, it's about the man who wrote that song, and his name was Stephen Sondheim, and he did a lot of different songs, a lot of different plays, but one play he did was called Into the Woods, and the musical itself is built on entering an alternate magical dimension, the woods, where the rules of reality are suspended and different narratives coexist, transitioning from once upon a time to a place where characters must navigate parallel intersecting fairy tales. He also did another one called Giants in the Sky, and this is still in the same play, Into the Woods. And during this song, Jack sings about an alternate elevated dimension above the clouds, describing a completely different world with a different perspective on life. Still dealing with this play, Into the Woods, he made another song called Moments in the Woods, and this explores a parallel life decision where the baker's wife contemplates a what-if existence and a different, more exciting path than her own reality. When you listen to all these things with him, he also has another one that's called Stay With Me in the same play. And this deals with a secluded, controlled, and almost surreal alternative environment created by the witch to keep Rapunzel alive. When we look at this songs and everything, what do we hear? You do hear witch. I know a lot of people have theories about witches. We do hear there's a witch, but what we hear consistently is alternate reality, parallel dimensions where one exists on top of the other. And I think that's exactly what's going on here with this show. But you tell me in the comments section what you think. I will be live tonight with my boy Phil, the Issues Guy. Come join us so we can talk some more. It's a call-in live stream, so you'll be able to call us up and give us all of your theories. You tell me what you think about mine. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.